I stepped out of the bathroom, wrapping my towel around me, steam still clinging to my skin. The bedroom door was half open. I pushed it wider and froze. There was a woman sitting on my bed, on my side of the bed. She wasn't startled. She wasn't apologizing. She was just sitting there like she belonged, one leg crossed over the other, scrolling through her phone like this was her house. I blinked. My brain couldn't catch up. Excuse me?" I said. She looked up slowly, smiled. Not a nervous smile, a confident one. "Oh, you're done?" she said casually. "Good. We need to talk." Before I could respond, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned. My husband Dalton stood in the hallway, his face drained of color. His mouth opened, but nothing came out. "Dalton," I said quietly, "who is this?" He didn't answer. The woman on my bed did. "I'm Kiera," she said, standing up now, "and I think it's time you knew the truth." If you're watching this story right now, do me a favor. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button because you're going to want to see how this ends. Trust me. Let me take you back, because none of this made sense unless you understood how we got here. Dalton and I had been married for 6 years. We met at a friend's birthday party. He made me laugh that night, really laugh, the kind that made your stomach hurt. He was charming, confident, and he pursued me like I was the only woman in the world. Our wedding was small but beautiful. His vows made me cry. He promised to protect me, to honor me, to never let me question his love. I believed every word. The first 3 years were good. We traveled, we laughed, we built a life. But somewhere around year 4, things started shifting. Small things at first. He'd come home later than usual. His phone was always face down. He started picking fights over nothing. "Why do you always need to know where I am?" he'd snap. "I'm just asking how your day was, Dalton." "Well, it feels like an interrogation." I started doubting myself. Maybe I was being too clingy, too insecure. My best friend Rhea saw it differently. "Girl, you're not crazy," she said one evening over wine. "He's acting shady." "You think he's cheating?" She didn't answer right away. That silence told me everything. "I think you need to trust your gut." But I didn't want to, because trusting my gut meant facing a truth I wasn't ready for. So I ignored the signs. I made excuses. I convinced myself that every marriage goes through rough patches. Then came the money. Small amounts at first, $50 here, $100 there. I'd check our account and see withdrawals I didn't make. When I asked him, he'd get defensive. "I'm a grown man. I don't need permission to spend my own money." "It's our money, Dalton. I'm not asking for permission. I'm asking for communication." He'd storm out, and I'd be left standing there feeling like I'd done something wrong. The late nights got worse. He'd say he was working overtime, helping a friend stuck in traffic. Always an excuse, always a reason I was supposed to accept without question. One night, I called his job just to check. The receptionist told me he'd left at 5. It was almost midnight. When he finally came home, I confronted him. "Where were you?" "I told you I was with Jerome." "I called your job, Dalton. You left hours ago." His jaw tightened. "So now you're checking up on me. That's what we're doing." "Answer the question." "I stopped for drinks. Is that okay with you, or do I need to send my location every 5 minutes?" He turned it on me, made me the villain, and like a fool, I apologized. I actually apologized for caring. Rhea begged me to open my eyes. "He's gaslighting you. You know that, right?" "I just think he's stressed. Stressed men don't lie about where they are. Wake up." But I wasn't ready. Not yet. Then came that day. The day everything shattered. I decided to take a long bath, light some candles, try to relax. Maybe if I was calmer, less anxious, things would get better between us. That's what I told myself. I soaked in the tub for almost an hour. When I got out, I felt lighter, hopeful even. I wrapped myself in a towel and opened the bathroom door. And that's when I saw her. Kiera, sitting on my bed like she paid the mortgage. Now here we were, the 3 of us, in my bedroom. Dalton stammering, Kiera smirking, and me standing there in a towel, trying to process what was happening. "Get out," I finally said. My voice was shaking, but firm. Kiera tilted her head. "Actually, I don't think I will." "Excuse me?" She stepped closer. "You heard me.
I'm not going anywhere. Dalton and I have been together for over a year. He loves me. He's just been too afraid to tell you." I looked at Dalton, waiting for him to deny it, waiting for him to defend me, to throw her out, to do something. He looked at the floor. "Dalton," I whispered, "tell her to leave." He didn't move. Kiera laughed. Actually laughed. "See? He can't even look at you. That should tell you everything." Something broke inside me in that moment. Not my heart. That would come later. No, this was different. This was my dignity starting to crack. "You brought her here?" I asked him, my voice barely above a whisper. "To our home? To our bed?" He finally looked up. "It just happened. I didn't plan this." Didn't plan what? Didn't plan to cheat? Or didn't plan to get caught? Kiera crossed her arms. "Look, this is awkward for everyone, but you need to accept reality. He doesn't want you anymore. He wants me." I felt tears burning behind my eyes, but I refused to cry in front of her. I refused to give her that satisfaction. "Is that true, Dalton?" I asked. "Is that what you want?" He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. "I don't know," he finally said. Those 3 words destroyed me more than anything else he could have said. Not yes, not no, just "I don't know." Like 6 years of marriage, 6 years of my life, 6 years of loyalty and love and sacrifice were just something he wasn't sure about anymore. I looked at both of them standing there. Dalton, the man I'd built my entire adult life around, and Kiera, the woman who thought she could just walk in and take what was mine. And in that moment, I made a decision. I walked to my closet, pulled out a bag, started packing. "What are you doing?" Dalton asked. I didn't answer. I just kept packing. Clothes, shoes, essentials. "Babe, wait! Let's talk about this." I zipped the bag, turned to face him. "There's nothing to talk about." "Where are you going?" I looked him dead in the eye. "Anywhere but here." I walked past both of them, down the stairs, out the front door. I heard Dalton calling my name behind me, but I didn't stop. I couldn't. I got in my car and drove. I didn't know where I was going. I just drove until I couldn't see our house in the rearview mirror anymore. Then I pulled over and I broke. I sobbed until my chest hurt, until my eyes were swollen, until I had nothing left. My phone kept buzzing. Dalton, over and over. I ignored every call. Eventually, I drove to Rhea's apartment. She opened the door, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside without a word. "He cheated," I said. My voice sounded hollow. "She was in our bed, Rhea. In our bed." Rhea's face went hard. "I'm going to kill him." "Don't. He's not worth it." But even as I said it, part of me wanted her to. Part of me wanted someone to make him hurt the way I was hurting. If you're still with me, I need you to do something. Hit that like button right now, drop a comment telling me what you would have done in this situation, and make sure you're subscribed, because what happens next is going to change everything. I stayed at Rhea's place for 3 days. 3 days of crying, staring at the ceiling, and replaying everything in my mind. How did I miss it? How long had this been going on? Was I really that blind? Dalton kept calling, texting, leaving voicemails that I couldn't bring myself to listen to. Eventually, Rhea sat me down. "You can't hide forever, Nyla. You need to face this." "I know. What do you want?" That was the question, wasn't it? What did I want? A week ago, I would have said I wanted my marriage, my husband, my life back. But now, sitting in Rhea's living room wearing the same clothes I'd left in, I wasn't sure what I wanted anymore. I need to go back, I said finally. I need my things. I need to figure this out. Rhea drove me. She insisted on coming inside with me, but I told her to wait in the car. This was something I needed to do alone. The house was quiet when I walked in, half expecting Kiera to still be there, lounging on my couch like she owned the place. But she wasn't. Dalton was. He was sitting at the kitchen table, head in his hands. When he heard me come in, he looked up. His eyes were red. He looked like he hadn't slept. Good. "Nyla," he said, standing quickly. "Thank God. I've been going crazy. You wouldn't answer my calls." "What did you expect?" I know. I just needed to explain." "Explain what, Dalton? Explain how your mistress ended up in our bed? Explain how you've been lying to me for over a year?" He flinched. "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like? Because from where I'm standing, it looks pretty clear." He ran his hands through his hair. "It started as nothing, just talking. She works at the gym I go to. We became friends." "Friends don't sleep together, Dalton." I know that. It just happened one night. I was stressed about work, you and I had been fighting, and she was there. It was a mistake." "A mistake that lasted over a year?" He had no answer for that. "Why did you bring her here?" I asked. My voice cracked. "Of all the places, why here?" He finally looked up. "I didn't bring her. She just showed up. I told her it was over, that I wanted to work on my marriage. She got angry and came here to confront you." I laughed. It was a bitter, broken sound. "So this is her fault? Is that what you're saying?" No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm the one who messed up. I know that. But Nyla, I love you. I want to fix this." "You love me?" I repeated. "You don't love someone and do what you did." "People make mistakes." "Mistakes are forgetting to take out the trash, Dalton. Mistakes are buying the wrong brand of coffee. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. You chose her over me. Every single day for a year. You chose her." Tears started falling down my face, and I hated it. I hated that he could still make me cry. "What do you want me to say?" he asked desperately. "Tell me what to say to make this right." "There's nothing you can say. Nothing." I walked past him, heading upstairs to pack more of my things. He followed me. "So that's it? You're just giving up on us?" I spun around. "I'm not the one who gave up, Dalton. You did that the moment you touched her." "I'll do anything. Therapy, counseling, whatever you need." "What I need is to not feel like an idiot for trusting you." I grabbed more clothes, shoving them into another bag. My hands were shaking. "Please don't leave," he said quietly. "This is your home." This stopped being my home the second she sat on that bed. I left again. This time, I didn't cry in the car. I just felt numb. The next few weeks were the hardest of my life. I moved in with Rhea temporarily while I figured things out. My family kept calling, asking questions I didn't have the energy to answer. Some people were supportive, others weren't. My mother actually suggested I forgive him. "Marriage is work, Nyla. You don't just walk away because things get hard." "He cheated on me, Mom." "Men make mistakes. If you love him, you'll find a way to work through it." I hung up on her. I couldn't believe she was taking his side. Even some of our mutual friends started acting weird, like I was overreacting, like I should just get over it. "Dalton's really torn up about this," one of them said. "Maybe you should hear him out." I stopped answering their calls, too. The only person who truly understood was Rhea. "You don't owe anyone an explanation," she told me one night. "Not him, not your family, not anyone. You do what's right for you." But that was the problem. I didn't know what was right for me anymore. I felt lost, empty, like someone had taken who I was and replaced her with a shell. I stopped eating properly, stopped sleeping. I'd lie awake at night replaying every moment of our relationship, looking for clues I'd missed, wondering if I'd been blind or if he'd just been that good at hiding it. One night, about a month after everything happened, I hit rock bottom. I was alone in Rhea's apartment. She'd gone out with some friends, begging me to come along. I refused. I didn't want to be around people, didn't want to pretend I was okay. I sat on the floor of her living room, staring at my phone. Dalton had stopped calling as much, but he still texted occasionally, asking how I was, telling me he missed me, saying he'd wait as long as it took. Part of me wanted to respond. Part of me wanted to believe that people could change, that love was enough. But another part of me, the part that was louder, knew better. I looked at myself in the mirror that night. Really looked. I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. My eyes were hollow. My face was drawn. I'd lost weight, lost my spark. This wasn't who I was supposed to be. And in that moment, something shifted. I was tired of crying, tired of feeling weak, tired of letting what he did define me. I made a decision that night, not to go back to him, not to forgive and forget, but to rebuild, to become someone I could be proud of again. I didn't know how yet, I didn't have a plan, but I knew I couldn't stay in this dark place forever. The next morning, I woke up with a strange sense of clarity. I called a lawyer, started the divorce process. It felt surreal signing those papers, ending a marriage on paper before I'd ended it in my heart. But it was necessary. I also started seeing a therapist, someone who could help me work through everything I was feeling without judgment. Slowly, very slowly, I started to feel like myself again. I got a new job, something I'd been too scared to apply for before because Dalton had always made me doubt my abilities, but I got it, and I was good at it. I started taking care of myself again, working out, eating better, doing things that made me feel strong. Rhea was my rock through all of it. "I'm proud of you," she said one evening. "Look at you, you're glowing." I wasn't glowing, not yet, but I was getting there. If you're still watching, I need you to stay until the end because what happens next with Dalton and Kira is going to blow your mind. Drop a comment, hit that like button, and let me know if you've ever had to rebuild yourself after betrayal. 6 months passed. 6 months of therapy, growth, and slowly piecing myself back together. I moved into my own apartment. Small, but it was mine. Every piece of furniture I bought, every picture I hung on the wall, it all represented my new life. I was finally sleeping through the night, finally eating without feeling sick, finally looking in the mirror and recognizing the woman staring back. Then, one Saturday afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. "Hello? Nyla?" The voice was shaky, female, familiar. Who is this? "It's Kiara." My blood went cold. Of all the people I expected to hear from, she was dead last on the list. "Why are you calling me?" There was a pause. Then I heard her take a shaky breath. "I need to talk to you. Please, just give me 5 minutes." "You've got to be joking." "I know you hate me. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. But please, I'm begging you." Something in her voice made me hesitate. She didn't sound smug anymore. She sounded broken. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop. Neutral ground, public place. When I walked in, I barely recognized her. The confident woman who'd sat on my bed like she owned it was gone. In her place was someone who looked tired, defeated. Her eyes were puffy, like she'd been crying for days. We sat down across from each other. She stared at her coffee cup, not making eye contact. "Thank you for coming," she said quietly. "You have 5 minutes. Start talking." She looked up then, and I saw genuine pain in her eyes. "I'm sorry. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but I need to say it. I'm so sorry for what I did. Is that why you called me? To apologize? No, I called because I need you to know the truth. About him. About everything. I leaned back, arms crossed. Go on. Dalton and I are done. Have been for 3 months now. And you want sympathy for that? No, I want you to understand what kind of man he really is. She took a breath, and then it all came spilling out. Everything he told you was a lie. It didn't just happen. He pursued me, hard, told me his marriage was already over, that you two were separated but still living together for financial reasons. He said you were controlling, that you made his life miserable, that he was just waiting for the right time to leave. I felt my chest tighten, but I kept my face neutral. I believed him, she continued. For months, I believed every word. He was charming, attentive, made me feel special. Then, that day at your house, when I saw your face, I realized he'd been lying to both of us. So you knew he was married. Yes, but I thought the marriage was already dead. I thought I was helping him escape something toxic. I didn't realize until that moment that you had no idea, that you still loved him, that he was playing both of us. And you stayed with him after that? She nodded, shame written all over her face. I know how that sounds, but he convinced me, told me you were dramatic, that you'd get over it, that we'd be together once the divorce was finalized. So I waited and waited. What changed?
Her laugh was bitter. I found out I wasn't the only one. There was another woman, maybe more. He's been texting someone named Brianna for months. When I confronted him, he didn't even try to deny it, just said I was being paranoid. Sound familiar? It did. That was exactly what he'd done to me. He's not who he pretends to be, Nyla. He's a liar, a manipulator, and he's never going to change. We sat in silence for a moment. Why are you telling me this? I asked finally. Because he's been trying to get you back, texting your friends, asking about you. And I thought you should know that whatever he's saying, whatever promises he's making, they're all lies. He hasn't changed. He'll never change. I stared at her. Part of me wanted to be angry. This woman had helped destroy my marriage. But looking at her now, broken and remorseful, I just felt tired. Thank you for telling me, I said, but I already knew I wasn't going back. Good. You deserve better than him. We both do. She stood to leave, then paused. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. What I did was unforgivable. I hope someday you can find peace. She walked out, leaving me sitting there with my thoughts. I'd be lying if I said her words didn't affect me, knowing there were others, that I wasn't even special enough to be the only one he cheated with. It stung, but it also confirmed what I already knew. Leaving him was the best decision I'd ever made. 2 weeks later, Dalton showed up at my apartment. I don't know how he got my address, but there he was, standing at my door looking disheveled and desperate. Nyla, please, just talk to me. How did you find me? That doesn't matter. I need you to listen. No, you need to leave. I've changed. I swear I've changed. I've been in therapy. I'm working on myself. I know I messed up, but I can't lose you. You're my wife. I'm your ex-wife. The divorce was finalized last week. That stopped him. His face crumpled. You didn't even tell me. I didn't owe you that. 6 years, Nyla. 6 years of our lives. That has to mean something. I looked at him, really looked at him, and felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no love. Just nothing. It did mean something, I said calmly. It taught me what I won't accept anymore. It taught me my worth. It taught me that I'd rather be alone than be with someone who makes me question my value. I never meant to hurt you, but you did, over and over again. And the worst part is, you do it again. You already are doing it again with someone else. His eyes widened. Kiera told you. She did. And honestly, Dalton, I don't even care.
You're not my problem anymore. You're not my responsibility. You're just someone I used to know. So that's it. You're just done. I was done the moment you chose someone else over me. I just didn't realize it yet." He stood there for a moment, looking lost. Then, without another word, he turned and walked away. I closed the door and leaned against it. For the first time in months, I smiled. A real, genuine smile. I was free. The months that followed were the best of my life. I got a promotion at work, traveled to places I'd always wanted to see, reconnected with old friends, started painting again, something I'd given up years ago because Dalton said it was a waste of time. I wasn't looking for love, wasn't looking to fill the void he'd left, because there was no void. I was whole all by myself. 1 year after that horrible day in my bedroom, I ran into Rhea at our favorite brunch spot. "Look at you," she said, pulling me into a hug. "You're glowing." "I feel good, and I meant it. I'm so proud of you. You know that, right? Not everyone could have done what you did." "What did I do?" "You chose yourself. That takes courage." It did take courage. Courage to walk away. Courage to start over. Courage to believe I deserved better. And I did deserve better. As I sat there with Rhea, laughing and talking about our lives, I realized something important. Dalton didn't break me. He tried to, but I was stronger than he ever gave me credit for. I rebuilt myself, became someone I was proud of, and no matter what happened in my future, I knew I'd be okay. Because I'd survived the worst, and I'd come out the other side better for it. If this story resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button, drop a comment and tell me what lesson you're taking from this, and share this video with someone who needs to hear that they're strong enough to start over. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is walk away, and sometimes walking away is how you find yourself again. Thank you for watching.